Hello, loves! Welcome. My name is Sialo. This is Love with Sialo, and today I am sharing about menstrual blood magic, which is a topic that a few people share about, but not in a way that really spoke to me. So I really wanted to offer a deeper understanding of why this is something that we would want to do, and just to also clear some of the misconceptions about what it is. First of all, when we talk about blood magic, there is a association with black magic in a lot of people's perception, which is potentially accurate, but potentially not accurate, because dark magic depends on the intention. All magic depends on the intention. So if the intention of the person using the magic is malevolent, it is with the intention to harm, then that is going to be destructive magic. If the energy and the intention of the person is for healing and light and love and clearing, then the magic will have that effect. So it really is up to the intention. So just to make that clear as the first piece. Now, the reason that this is so misunderstood is because all of the feminine mysteries are misunderstood. They have been repressed for thousands of years, and they have also been twisted. So often when you see something that is goddess or feminine, it is twisted to have a negative connotation for the sake of suppressing it, or as a result of suppressing it throughout the last number of centuries. So as we reclaim our magic as women, as we reclaim the magic of the purge of menstruation, we have the opportunity to delve deeper into our own magic, our capacity to create reality through intention and ritual and the sacredness of everything that we do. There's a lot of purging happening. I can feel it in my throat. That happens when there's something that needs to come out that is clearing. You could notice some kind of phlegm in your throat. And it is similar as well when we're menstruating. There is sometimes some blocks that we are facing around that, whether that's resistance to the emotional purge, whether that's distracting ourselves with work, or whether that is simply blocking our menstruation through artificial hormonal birth control that stops our menstruation. And by the way, you will need to Google this because I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but I understand that hormonal birth control, even if you do still bleed, it's an artificial bleed. You haven't actually ovulated. So that is another way that our magic could be potentially blocked. Something you'll want to look into, perhaps. So let's get a little bit deeper. Why would I want to perform blood magic with my menstrual blood? So if I understand that the feminine, the divinity of the feminine, is deeply magical in its essence, that it has deep, deep power, right? Then why wouldn't I want to utilize that? The fear of the dark magic that we've been programmed to believe is there could be one of the reasons. Another reason is that we just don't know how, because the feminine mysteries have been so incredibly suppressed. And because of their suppression, they've also been very protected. So they are not available like many of the masculine things are. So as we step into the age of Aquarius and the rising of the divine feminine, we begin to notice that these mysteries of feminine embodiment are starting to become more available to us. They are starting to be a little bit more easily accessed, but they are still extremely repressed, and the censorship that happens is very, very, very real. So it can take a little bit of sifting through misinformation or just other things that are irrelevant and distracting in order to find the nuggets of information that are actually helpful for us. So that's what I'm here for, to offer those nuggets that are a little bit harder to find. Now, the menstrual blood, first of all, in the Christ consciousness perception, is the Holy Grail. It is the life force. It is the ability to rebirth. So this is the dark feminine mysteries, which the feminine mysteries are hidden, but the dark feminine mysteries are even deeper underneath those surface level twists and misinformations. So as we go deeper and we find these dark feminine mysteries and we discover that they are not evil like we may have been or likely have been programmed to believe, then we can open ourselves up to the potential magic that is available there. So, for example, when I release through my period, I am offering the old versions of myself up. So whatever experience you have from that month, whatever times that you betrayed yourself or you overworked past where your body signified you, or you ignored your inner guidance, that is going to show up in your menstruation to purge. So you can take stock of your entire month based on how your menstruation is. And this is why it can be so deep. As well, you can go even further than that, and you can take it into past traumas from your childhood. You can relate it to what has happened in the past, and you can purge through your current body, your present body. You can purge things from your past. You can go further and you can purge generationally. You can look at how what you're experiencing this past month relates to your childhood, which relates to the way that your parents influenced you, which relates to the way that their parents influenced them. You can also take it to a global level where what I am purging right now is relevant to what all women are purging. There's a helicopter passing me by. Maybe I'll cover myself. Because while I'm talking to you, I have my skin bare below to receive the sun. So as we allow ourselves to go into those layers and we allow ourselves to feel that darkness, to purge the old versions of ourselves, what we're doing is kind of like cleaning out the closet. The more we clear, the more space we have. And spaciousness is the heart chakra, it's the ether. So the more spaciousness we have, the more we can hold. And I'm talking about holding whatever you're calling in. So if you are calling in a deeper relationship with yourself and love of yourself, then that is what you are making room for. If you are calling in more radiance and abundance then that is what you will be receiving in the coming month if you allow it. So the purging of the menstruation gives you permission to be able to go there and to make room for it so that it has the space to come in. As for ritual is bringing the sacredness to everything that we do, so everything can become ritualized, and I am so passionate about this topic. When we intentionally bleed, we give ourselves permission to go to those deeper levels of purging. It gives us such an opportunity to rebirth ourselves, to become more of who we are meant to be, to release more of the programming, the cultural conditioning, and the generational trauma. In this rebirthing process, there is deep, deep grief. And so this is why there is such an emotional connection with our menstruation. And since we have been living in a masculine dominant society for so long, these permissions have been taken from us, where we feel that as women, I felt in my younger days, and I still struggle with it sometimes now, that my value lies in how much I do. And especially while I'm bleeding, it's very challenging to do anything, because if I'm focusing on the intention of clearing, then I don't have a lot of space for other things. But my conditioning and my programming from my culture and my society tell me that I'm supposed to be working, that I'm supposed to be productive all the time. But this is a masculine concept that doesn't apply to me anymore, because I choose to not allow it to apply to me anymore, because it doesn't feel true for me. Instead, I live my life in this cyclical experience of purging regularly in order to allow more room for more coming in. And this is the sacral magnetism that I often talk about. If I am full of toxic waste and I do not regularly clear that, then I will not have room to magnetize new things into my life. I will simply be experiencing over and over the re-traumatization of my womb space and of my heart and of my mind and of my body, because of the toxic waste that is building up. And eventually that will catch up to us in dis-ease. So regularly purging and clearing, just like clearing the physical body with other processes, whatever type of clearing you do, is essential to our ability to magnetize ourselves as women. And that is the essence of the feminine, is magnetism. It is not about doing, and we do not gain value by doing more and being productive. Our value lies in our magical capacity to purge and then to magnetically attract. Another one of the challenges that comes up, and I was really facing this one this month, is that there's not always availability to be held in our experience. If we were not exampled this from our parents, and most of us weren't, and if we didn't have safe masculine examples in our childhood as well, then we might not feel that it is safe to go into these depths and to release. So step by step, very gently, we can reprogram ourselves, teach ourselves that not only is it possible to rebirth ourselves monthly, but it is also safe to do so and powerful to do so. So the power comes in saying no to overworking. The power comes in saying no to anything that does not serve my intention of rebirthing myself deeper into who I am. The most powerful ritual, 1515 on the camera clock there, that I like to share as an introduction to blood magic is simply to offer the blood back to the earth. So you could do this to a plant that you have, or you could do it to the earth. And as you offer it back to the mother, you are asking her to recycle the energy. So whatever purge you held, I hold that in my cup. I collect my blood in a jar. And then at the end of my bleed, I pray and I offer that blood to Pachamama, to Mother Earth, and ask her to recycle that energy and to bring it back to me in whatever I am calling in, whatever I'm making space for. It's really beautiful. All right. That was Blood Magic introduction. And if you are a woman who is interested in deeper levels of the feminine embodiment, the divine feminine mysteries, the temple arts, and specifically the dark feminine initiations, then I encourage you to comment your questions, your thoughts. How did this little video affect you? What came up for you? And also just to connect with me, to let me know how I can be here for you. What topics would be helpful for me to share more about? What are you experiencing in your current life right now? And what are you purging in this coming cycle? As always, endless love to you. Thank you so much for your beautiful energy. And I am so grateful for you to be here. Much love.